What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are doing something absolutely insane. We're flying all the way to the heart of Africa, to a country most people couldn't even find on a map, Burundi. Forget everything you think you know about travel guides because we are about to explore 10 hidden locations that are so secret, so off the grid, that even some locals don't know they exist. I'm talking about places that don't show up on your typical tourist itinerary. This is going to be one of our biggest adventures, and I promise you, what we're about to see will blow your mind. We're not just going to show you a pretty picture, we're going to dive deep into the culture, the nature, and the raw, unfiltered beauty of Burundi. We're going to be hiking through dense rainforests, discovering thundering waterfalls that seem to appear out of nowhere, and uncovering ancient traditions that have been kept secret for centuries. This isn't just a trip, it's a mission to reveal the soul of a nation, one hidden gem at a time. And like always, you are not going to want to click away. Make sure you watch every single second of this video, because at the very end, for the final hidden gem, I'm dropping some insane trivia questions. The first person to answer them correctly in the comments might just get a huge surprise from me. You know how we do it, so grab your snacks, settle in, because this adventure starts right now. Let's go. Alright, first up on our list is something truly epic. We are deep in the Burundian countryside, miles away from any major city to find the Karera waterfalls. Most travel guides might mention them, but they don't tell you the real story. They don't tell you that getting here is a challenge in itself, a journey through winding dirt roads and tiny villages. It's so remote that we've been driving for hours and have barely seen another car. This isolation is exactly why it's the perfect first stop. It's a place untouched by mass tourism, a real raw piece of nature. Look at this, we made it. This isn't just one waterfall, it's a series of them, cascading down the rocks in multiple stages. The sound is absolutely deafening in the best way possible. You can feel the power of the water vibrating through the ground. The air here is so fresh, filled with the mist from the falls. We're completely surrounded by lush green vegetation. It feels like we've stepped into a lost world, a prehistoric paradise that time forgot. It's just us, the crew, and this incredible force of nature. The reason so few tourists make it out here is simple. It's difficult. There are no fancy signs, no paved parking lots, no gift shops. You have to want to be here. You have to be willing to go on an adventure. Most people just stick to the main cities, but they're missing out on this. This is the real Burundi. It's wild, it's untamed, and it is breathtakingly beautiful. Standing here, you understand that the best places on Earth aren't always the easiest to get to. I could literally spend all day here. Every angle you look from, you see a different kind of beauty. There's the main powerful cascade, but then you have these smaller, gentler falls trickling down the sides, creating little pools of crystal clear water. We're going to get some insane drone shots of this place so you can see the sheer scale of it all. Honestly, pictures and videos will never do it justice. This is one of those places you have to feel, you have to experience. On to the next hidden gem. Okay, from the thunderous power of Karera Falls, we're now heading to a place of absolute peace and quiet. This is Lake Raihinda, also known as the Bird Lake. And let me tell you, that name is not an exaggeration. We're in the far north of Burundi, and this place feels like a sanctuary, a world away from everything. It's a massive lake, but what makes it special isn't its size, it's the sheer number of birds that call this place home. We're talking about a major stop for migratory birds traveling across the entire African continent. We've rented a small wooden boat, and our guide is paddling us out onto the water. The only sounds you can hear are the gentle lapping of the water against the boat and the calls of thousands and thousands of birds. It's incredible. There are birds everywhere you look, on the floating islands of vegetation, in the reeds along the shore, flying overhead. It's like an avian metropolis. Our guide is pointing out species I've never even heard of before: cormorants, herons, sacred ibises. It's a bird watcher's paradise. The reason this place is such a hidden gem is because it's protected. The Lake Raihinda Natural Reserve was created to preserve this unique ecosystem. It's not a commercial tourist trap. The focus here is on conservation, on maintaining the peaceful environment that these birds need to thrive. When you visit, you have to be respectful. You move slowly, you speak quietly, and you just observe. It forces you to slow down and appreciate the insane level of biodiversity that exists here, hidden away in this quiet corner of Burundi. I'm just blown away by the tranquility. In a world that's so loud and fast-paced, finding a place like this is rare. The water is like glass, reflecting the sky and the lush green hills that surround the lake. It's so calm, so serene. I could just float out here for hours. This isn't an adrenaline-pumping adventure like the last spot. This is a different kind of thrill. It's the thrill of witnessing nature in its purest, most undisturbed form. This is a side of Burundi that is just pure magic. Get ready for this, because we are about to experience something truly unique and incredibly important to Burundian culture. We've traveled to a place called the Gishora Drum Sanctuary. This isn't just a tourist attraction, it's one of the most significant cultural sites in the entire country. Located on top of a hill, completely off the beaten path, this is where the legendary Burundian drummers practice their ancient art. This tradition is so important, it's been recognized by UNESCO. When we arrived, we were greeted by the keepers of the sanctuary. These are men whose families have been protecting this tradition for generations. They explained that these drums, called karienda, are more than just instruments. They are sacred objects, symbols of the kingdom and the fertility of the land. In the past, they were only played for the king during special ceremonies. To even be here, to witness this, feels like we're being let in on a powerful secret that has been guarded for centuries. And then it started. The drummers, dressed in traditional attire, began to play. And guys, I have never felt anything like it. The rhythm is complex, powerful, and it just takes over your entire body. It's not just music, it's a performance. They leap into the air, they chant, they move with this incredible energy and precision. They even balance the heavy drums on their heads while playing. The sound echoes across the hills. It's a raw, primal energy that connects you directly to the history of this land. This is a hidden gem because it's not something you can just stumble upon. You have to seek it out. It's located far from the capital, and the performances aren't scheduled for big tour groups. You come here to learn, to listen, and to pay respect to a tradition that has survived for hundreds of years. Watching them, you understand that this is the heartbeat of Burundi. It's a rhythm that tells a story of kings, of celebration, of a culture that is deeply proud of its heritage. This was absolutely unforgettable. Okay, our next location is taking us deep into one of Africa's last remaining mountain rainforests. Welcome to Kibera National Park. This place is legendary. It's a vast, dense, and misty forest that sits high up in the mountains, forming the divide between the Congo and Nile River basins. Just driving up here, the temperature dropped, and we were literally driving through the clouds. The atmosphere is completely different. It's mysterious, it's a little bit spooky, and it feels like anything could be hiding in these woods. We're going on a guided trek into the heart of the park. Our guide just told us that this forest is home to some incredibly rare wildlife, including several species of primates like chimpanzees and colobus monkeys, not to mention hundreds of bird species. But he also warned us that sightings are not guaranteed. This isn't a zoo. The forest is thick, and the animals are wild and elusive. The challenge is part of the adventure. Just being here, walking among these ancient trees covered in moss and mist, is an experience in itself. The air is thick with moisture and everything is dripping with life. Giant ferns, tangled vines, and trees that seem to touch the sky create a dense canopy above us. It's so quiet, except for the strange calls of birds and the rustling of leaves. Our guide is pointing out tracks on the muddy path, telling us what animals have passed through here recently. The suspense is killing me. Every shadow looks like it could be a chimpanzee. Every sound makes you stop and listen. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. Even if we don't see a chimpanzee today, this hike has been one of the most incredible things I've ever done. You feel so small in the face of this massive, ancient ecosystem. Kibera National Park is a hidden gem because it demands effort and patience. It doesn't give up its secrets easily. You have to earn the right to see its wonders. This is a critical habitat, a lung for the entire region, and being able to walk through it, to breathe this air, is a privilege. What an insane place. After the cold, misty mountains of Kibera, it's time to warm up. But we're not going to just any beach. We are heading to a spot called Saga Beach, and this place is a true local secret. Located just outside the main city of Bujumbura, on the shores of the massive Lake Tanganyika, this isn't your typical tourist resort beach. There are no giant hotels, no rows of souvenir shops. This is where the people of Burundi come to relax, to play, and to enjoy the incredible beauty of their country. As soon as we arrived, I understood why it's so beloved. The sand is golden, the water is crystal clear, and the backdrop is a stunning vista of mountains plunging directly into the lake. Lake Tanganyika is one of the largest and deepest freshwater lakes in the world, and it feels more like an ocean than a lake. The vibe here is just so chill. Families are having picnics, kids are splashing in the water, and friends are playing soccer on the sand. It's lively and authentic. What makes Saga Beach a hidden gem for outsiders is its lack of commercialization. International tourists are often directed to more private hotel-owned beaches, so they completely miss out on this vibrant slice of local life. But this is where you feel the real pulse of the city. We've just been hanging out talking to people, and everyone has been so incredibly friendly and welcoming. They're happy to share their favorite spot with us, proud of the beauty of their lake. We even got invited to a game of beach volleyball. This is what travel is all about. It's not just about seeing places, it's about connecting with people. And here at Saga Beach, that connection is easy. As the sun starts to set, the sky is turning into an insane palette of oranges, pinks, and purples. It's one of the most beautiful sunsets I have ever seen. This place might not be in the glossy travel brochures, but it has something much more valuable. It has soul. Alright, adventure level is about to go way up again. We are now at the mouth of the Rusizi River, where it flows into Lake Tanganyika. This is Rusizi National Park, a place famous for one thing in particular: hippos. And not just a few of them. We're talking about one of the largest populations of hippos in the region. We're getting on another boat, but this time, the vibe is completely different. It's not peaceful and serene. It's tense and exciting. Hippos are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, and we're going right into their territory. Our guide is an expert, and he's navigating the boat slowly and carefully through the river channels. The landscape here is stunning. Wetlands stretching as far as the eye can see, with palm trees and dense reeds lining the banks. It's incredibly quiet, and then you hear it, a deep grunting sound coming from the water. And then we see them, a whole pod of hippos, mostly submerged with just their eyes, ears, and nostrils sticking out of the water. They look calm, but our guide is reminding us to keep our distance. It is absolutely surreal to be this close to these massive creatures in their natural habitat. They are huge. An adult hippo can weigh over 3,000 pounds. You see them yawning, showing off their enormous tusks, and it's a powerful reminder of how wild this place really is. The guide tells us they spend their days in the water to stay cool and come out at night to graze. We're just floating here, watching them, completely mesmerized. This is so much better than seeing them in a zoo. Besides the hippos, this park is also a haven for birds, and if you're lucky, you might even spot a crocodile sunbathing on the riverbank. Rusizi National Park is a hidden gem because it offers such a raw and unfiltered wildlife experience right on the edge of the city. You can go from the bustling markets of Bujumbura to this wild river delta in less than an hour. It's an incredible contrast. Seeing these hippos, these powerful giants of the river, is a moment I will never, ever forget. We're heading south now, to another protected area that almost no one talks about. This is the Vianda Forest Nature Reserve. If Kibera National Park was the misty, high-altitude rainforest, Vianda is its lower-altitude cousin, a woodland savanna that is home to a very special group of residents, chimpanzees. This reserve was specifically established to protect one of Burundi's last remaining chimpanzee populations, and we are going on a trek to try and find them. Getting here was a journey, and the reserve itself is honestly rugged and wild. We've met up with a tracker, a local expert who knows this forest like the back of his hand. He's been tracking these chimpanzees for years. He explained that unlike in some other famous chimp tracking locations in Africa, the chimpanzees here are not fully habituated to humans. This makes finding them much more challenging, but also, much more rewarding. It's a real, authentic tracking experience. We are now deep in the forest, following our tracker. He's listening for their calls, looking for signs like broken branches and leftover fruit. The tension is building with every step. The forest is dense and we're hiking up and down steep hills. This is not an easy walk, it's a proper workout. But the anticipation keeps you going. The thought that at any moment, we could come across a family of our closest living relatives in the wild is just an insane feeling. It's a true expedition. And then, our tracker signals for us to stop and be quiet. He points up into the canopy, and there they are, a mother and a young chimpanzee, high up in a tree, feeding on fruit. It is an absolutely magical moment. We can't get too close, we just watch from a distance, completely silent. To see them like this, wild and free in their natural home, is a profound experience. Vianda is a hidden gem because it offers one of the most authentic and non-intrusive wildlife encounters you can have. It's a place of hope for the conservation of these incredible animals. For our next location, we are going on a historical pilgrimage. We are traveling to a remote spot near the southern tip of Lake Tanganyika to find the Livingstone Stanley Monument. This place marks a famous moment in the history of African exploration. It's said to be the spot where the journalist Henry Morton Stanley finally found the missionary and explorer Dr. David Livingstone, who had been presumed lost for years, and uttered the famous words, "Dr. Livingstone," I presume. But here's the thing. Reaching this monument is an adventure in itself. It's not in a city or a town, it's in a tiny village, down a series of rough roads, overlooking the spectacular lake. There's a huge stone here that marks the spot of their meeting. It feels incredibly isolated, and that's what makes it so powerful. You stand here looking out at the same view they would have seen, and you can almost imagine what it must have been like for them back in 1871. It's like touching history. The monument itself is simple, a large rock with a plaque, but the significance is immense. This meeting was a major global news event at the time. It represented the peak of the European obsession with exploring the Dark Continent. Standing here, you're not just looking at a rock, you're standing at a crossroads of history, a place where two worlds collided. It's a quiet, contemplative spot that forces you to think about the complex history of exploration in Africa. This is a hidden gem because of its sheer remoteness. Few people make the long journey out here. There are no crowds, no tour buses. It's just you, the stone, the lake, and the weight of history. It's a humbling experience. For anyone who is a fan of history or epic tales of adventure, this place is a must-see. It's a small monument that tells a massive story, hidden away on the beautiful shores of Lake Tanganyika. This was definitely worth the long drive. After all this hiking, exploring, and driving, it's time to relax and recover, and I've found the perfect place to do it. We are at the Mugara Hot Springs, a natural thermal spa hidden in the Burundian countryside. This isn't a fancy modern spa complex. This is a natural phenomenon where geothermally heated water bubbles up from the ground, creating natural pools that locals have been using for centuries for their supposed healing properties. As we get closer, you can see the steam rising from the water. The pools are surrounded by lush palm trees and greenery, making it feel like a hidden oasis. The water is incredibly warm, almost hot to the touch. We found a spot and slowly got in. The feeling is instantaneous relaxation. All the muscle aches from our long hikes just seem to melt away. We're joined by some local families who are here doing the same thing. It's a really communal and peaceful atmosphere. The local legends surrounding these springs are fascinating. Our guide told us that people believe the water can cure various ailments and bring good fortune. People will travel for miles to bathe in these waters. Whether you believe in the legends or not, you can't deny how good it feels. The water is rich in minerals, and just soaking in it feels incredibly therapeutic. It's nature's own jacuzzi, hidden away in the middle of nowhere. This is a hidden gem, because it's a truly authentic local experience. It's not commercialized or built up for tourists. You are sharing the pools with the people who have been coming here for generations. It's a place to relax, to heal, and to connect with a different side of Burundian culture. One that is centered around nature and community. After the non-stop action of this trip, spending a few hours here at the Mugara Hot Springs is the perfect way to recharge before our final, most epic location. Alright, this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. We have saved the best, the most dramatic, and one of the most powerful hidden gems for last. We are at the Kagera Falls. Now, you might have heard of these falls, but what people don't realize is their sheer scale and their incredible historical significance. These falls are located on the Kagera River, which is now considered by many geographers to be the true most distant source of the legendary Nile River. That's right, we are standing at the very beginning of the longest river in the world. The water crashing down these rocks in front of us will travel over 4,000 miles all the way to Egypt and the Mediterranean Sea. Just thinking about that is mind-blowing. The falls themselves are spectacular. A series of powerful cascades thundering down a rocky gorge surrounded by pristine forest. The noise is immense, and the spray creates a constant rainbow in the air. It feels like a place of immense power and significance. Getting here was a mission. It's in a remote part of the country, and the final approach is a steep hike down into the gorge, but every single step is worth it. To stand here, at the source of the Nile, is one of the most epic things I have ever done. It's a geographical marvel hidden away in Burundi, a secret that this country holds. It's the perfect final location for our adventure, a place of raw power, incredible natural beauty and profound historical and geographical importance. This is what it's all about, pushing the limits, going further than anyone else to bring you these incredible sights. Kagera Falls is the ultimate hidden gem. And now, as promised, for everyone who watched until the very end, it's trivia time. Get ready to put your answers in the comments. Question 1. Besides being the source of the Nile, Burundi is known as the heart of what continent? Question 2. The sacred drums of Gishora are a symbol of the country. But what is the name of the tree their wood traditionally comes from? First correct answers get a shout out and a surprise. And that is a wrap on our insane adventure through the 10 biggest hidden gems in Burundi. From the secret waterfalls and the lake of a million birds to the sacred drummers and the source of the Nile itself, this journey has been absolutely unforgettable. We pushed ourselves to the limit to show you a side of this incredible country that most people will never get to see. I hope this video inspires you to look beyond the typical tourist spots and to find the adventure that's waiting off the beaten path. Burundi is a country with so much beauty, culture, and kindness, and I feel so lucky to have experienced it. Thank you all so much for coming along on this wild ride. These videos are impossible to make without your support. Every time you watch, like, and comment, it allows us to go on bigger and crazier adventures. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, share it with a friend who needs to see this, and most importantly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next crazy video we have planned. You're not going to want to miss what's coming next. A huge thank you to all the amazing people in Burundi who welcomed us with open arms and shared their beautiful country with us. And thank you to you, the viewer, for watching. Don't forget to get your answers for the trivia questions in the comments below. I'll be reading through them all. Until next time, stay adventurous and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.